Hey guys, JCcalonge from ShaolinProductionz, and I'm doing a video I thought I would never do, and that's a deck profile. I usually tend not to do deck profiles, mainly because I like to keep my decks like secret and personal. And usually, you know, I build decks according to the way I like it and like how I feel. Like when you play it, you feel comfortable. You feel like, yeah, this is my deck. It's awesome. And I do run some unorthodox cards. People don't run because I like running cards that I like, you know. When you play, you're supposed to have fun. It's not to be like, oh, I have to win. No, like, it's cool to win, but I feel it's more important to have fun than win. While I'm saying this, I win a lot with this deck, even though it has some certain cards that people don't usually run. Which proves my point that you can run a deck that you like and still win. But anyway, let's move on. So yeah, now I'm gonna zoom in and show you and tell you why I run certain cards. And my reasoning behind it, so stick around and I'll see you in a bit. Hey guys, so it's finally time to get into the actual deck profile. I'm going to start off with the zeros, move up to the 1s, 2s, and 3s. So first off, my starter is, bam, the awesome Crimson Lion Cub Criff. I run Criff because I really like his story, and I really like how he looks up and admires Ezel, and how he's his hero, and he's always there to protect and back up his hero. And yeah, I mean, I think that's awesome. Don't you guys agree? But yeah, you guys should definitely read the lores on the wiki, because you can learn a lot about your favorite cards. And I don't know, I think it's pretty cool to know about your favorite cards, and well, actually your whole deck in general. I like the stories, and it just makes you feel more connected, and I think it makes it more awesome when you play with the deck. But yeah, I really like Criff. He's awesome. I'm never ever gonna replace Criff in this deck. He's just way too awesome. Anyway, so let's put Criff here. He's one piece of the combo of the Team Awesome, as I like to call. That's my Team Awesome. Oh, whoops. So for the triggers, first I have 3 Flame of Victory. Crits are pretty good in like any deck, pretty much. I like to run crits in every deck. Like even Aqua Force, and people don't completely agree with me on that, because everyone's like, oh, let's just run stands. But I really like Flame of Victory, because since there's a lot of random calling in my deck, because you're gonna see with the Vivians and the Nimues and Ezel, of course, the random calls do hurt when it's a trigger, so Flame of Victory kind of helps you with that, because instead of just retiring the trigger, you can use the effect to give plus 3k. So then moving on, I still have more crits. I have 6 crits in the deck. I know I said it's preset 9, so don't worry about the Dantigo. It used to be another Silent Punisher. I was running it like this, but I do like, you guys, I should tell you guys, I do like the variety in triggers. I always like running as many different triggers as I possibly can. And probably another deck profile, you're gonna see the same thing. So don't worry, it's always been 6 crit, so nothing's changed for that for set 9. Then obviously I run 4 heal triggers. Bam. Self-explanatory. Heals are, I think, pretty mandatory in every deck, because if you don't run heals, I don't know, it's kind of iffy. I always feel like that's the staple. And then I run 4 draw triggers. 2 of them are Falcon Knight of the Azure. I think he looks awesome, and I really like his name. It reminds me of the Blaze Blue. Azure. So put him right here. And then for the other draw trigger, Speeder Hound. Again, the variety. 1 Speeder Hound and 1 Gwydion. Weapon Dealer Gwydion. Again, it's awesome. I do like the Falcon Knight, because when he's called with all the random calling, like I said, you can plus off to 2000. It's not a big boost, but at least you know, it's something. It's better than nothing. And then for my last 2 triggers, I have stands. I have 1 Fortune Bell and I have 1 Greeting Drummer. Alright, this is where it's a little iffy, because I know a lot of people don't run stands in Gold Paladins. I really like the stands though. Before I used to run 4 of each trigger, but I found out that like after a lot of testing, I found out that having so many stands really hurts the deck when you don't, because you always have to have two attacking units on the field, right? So with high stands, it's a little iffy because you don't always have two attacking monsters out on the field. So with the stands, what they do, since everyone likes to run 3 to 4 perfect guards, the stands help a lot during late game, because it's like with this deck you'll attack with 1 row, right? And then Vanguard attack. If you get a stand trigger, you can stand your rear guard and then have another attack for the Vanguard, and the perfect guard kind of went to waste. So they're really, really good in late game. So you guys should consider running some stands in like some of your decks, because they're really good. They help out a lot. They've saved me so many times. Like, they've gotten me game a lot. And it's just that surprise factor because no one expects it. So I kind of do like this trigger lineup because I have played with this deck a lot. Like, I don't know how many times I've played with the deck, but excuse me, I spent countless like hours. Like I said, I don't know how long I played with the deck, but I think the trigger lineup is pretty solid and it shouldn't affect the deck all that much. So yep. So let's move on to the grade 1s. Let me just put them in order real quick because I'm really like particular about the order. Oh yeah, and I want to run only one Silent Punisher because I like his little like flavor text. It says "looks like I've won," and like when you like finish off your opponent with that one Silent Punisher, it's like, oh my gosh, his line is perfect. I don't know, like Bringer of Good Luck Epona in my Royals, I only run one because I don't know, it's just like Bringer of Good Luck. When you get it at the right time, it's like, oh man, that's so awesome. But anyway, let's continue on with the deck profile of golds. For the second piece of Team Awesome, we have 4 Knight of Elegant Skills Gareth. Gareth's just awesome. He's the AK booster, and there's just like self-explanatory. You need to have 4 because without the 4, it just reduces your chances of actually pulling off Curse Effect by a lot. So 4 is pretty solid, and you know, AK boosters help a lot for cross rides because you need to get that 18 mark to get a 10k shield at least. So that's pretty good. Here's where another place in my deck that it differs from a lot of people, because I know a lot of people run 4 perfect guards in Gold Paladins, but I like to run 3. Again, I always ran 3 mark. I just like, because this is how I wanted to do it. Again, the variety thing, the flavor text, pretty much. So I've always ran 3 Halo Shield mark. Before I was running 2, but then it got really difficult to guard because Ezel is a 10k, and actually all my grade 3s are 10k, so it's really hard to block for them. I don't know if you guys really understand, because like, as you guys know, Vanguard's all about numbers. So at 15k, it's like anything can really hit you pretty much, because like 15k I have to drop a 10k shield, and it's just so difficult. Everyone can hit 20s, it's like that's not a problem, and then I have to drop 15k. So 3 perfect guards help out a lot. Then I have 2 Dendronays. I was running 1 before, but I just found 2 to be a lot more consistent because I would always draw the 1, and then I would not have plays with Garmore. So that was like, so I upped it to 2. Then I have 3 Disciple of Pain. I've always ran Disciple of Pain because I've always done plays with, like, you know, damage control. I always like controlling damage, making my opponent miss the heal trigger, you know, being able to heal early, or, you know, just getting back down to low damage. I've always liked that. And Disciple of Pain, a lot of people always question me, like, especially at tournaments, why do you run Disciple of Pain? And that's why, like, as soon as like I use the effect, I'd be like, why? Not to get to the early limit break, but more for damage control. That's so awesome, and I feel like that's the best. It's really game changing when you can heal or you stop your opponent from healing, because that's 1 less damage you have to inflict, or 1 more damage you can take. And then for my singles, I have one Nimue, one Little Battler Tron, and one Silver Fang Witch. My deck has changed up a bit from, because been wanting to test for set 9, so I have been doing like some changes here and there. Because before, the deck used to be like this: like I said before, it used to be one Dendronay, two Little Battler Trons, and two Nimue. So it was let me just get it in order. It used to be two Nimue, one Dendronay, and one Silver Fang Witch. So I feel 3 Disciple of Pain. Sorry about that, had a little camera issues. But yeah, like I was saying, I feel like 3 Disciple of Pain will help out the deck a lot, mainly because of Platina Ezel. Because like I said, I have been testing for set 9 and seeing how the deck would run for set 9. So I do want to keep the one Nimue, mainly because I only run, I don't know if you guys noticed from like the far away deck profile like view I had before, but I only run one Ezel. Why? I'll explain it later, but I'll come back to this in a bit after I show you the whole deck. So after the deck profile, I am going to go a little bit more in depth of why I run certain things. Alright, so now to move on to the grade 2s, I have 4 Knight of Superior Skills Bowmains. I do have 3 commons and 1 shiny Bowmains. I always have to have like one different one if I run multiples. So I have the one shiny one. He's like the leader of the Bowmains. Every time I call or something or ride, I always say, I call shiny Bowmains, or I ride shiny Bowmains. It's just, I don't know, it feels cool to me. Then I have the one card normally people don't run, and I have the one Battle Flag Knight Paladin. Paladin is really awesome. I like her artwork, and believe it or not, she's gotten me out of like a lot of pinches. And I mean, I feel like the deck doesn't suffer too much from having really one less card. I mean, I know her effect isn't too amazing, but for those of you who don't know, when she's called, she gives plus 2,000 to any Rearguard unit. Well, actually to any Gold Paladin unit. So I really like her effect, and I'm not gonna take her out because I really do want to keep her in. So yeah, that's one of like the cards I don't want to take out. Then I have 2 Player of the Holy Bow Vivian. This one has a little paper on it because I'm testing for set 9, so that was going to be my one Bagdemaeus, because I was going to leave one Vivian. So the one with the paper is supposed to be my Bagdemaeus for now, because I've been seeing how well the deck would work with one Bagdemaeus, because I'm not sure about the number I should have, because again, I only have one Ezel, so that changes the whole deck around. Then I have 1 trip. I do want to up the number of trips, but I don't know what to take out. I really do want to have at least 1 Bagdemaeus, but we'll see. Trip helps out a lot because since Ezel's effect only requires 2 counterblast, that 1 extra counterblast helps out a lot, especially since I have Vivians and I have Nimues who counterblast 1. It's pretty much a free superior call, and people usually like to block her, and if they don't, it's really plus for me. I do have 1 Charging Chariot Knight. I am going to take him out for Blaster Blade Spirit SP, it has to be SP. But yeah, Charging Chariot Knight has been really good for me right now, but I really do want to run the Blaster Blade Spirit, and he's like, I don't know, I was going to take him out at the moment for another Lopier shooter, because since I only have 1 Lopier, I like them at 2. Like the Dendronays, it's getting a little bit too iffy with the 1, because once I draw it, I can't do a Lopier play. So it's like, I might take them out right now for another Lopier, or I might take out the Nemean line for another Lopier. So yeah, I only have 1 Nemean line. I like the extra defense, but I've noticed a lot recently that I don't have Nemean line out on the field, because since he is an AK, he hits for terrible numbers. Like, I always like having good columns. Like, I'm pretty sure everyone does. So, AKs really hurt. So, I wouldn't mind taking him out for another Lop-Ear. I'm debating. So these are what I'm debating on taking out. Because I really need... I really want one Bagdemaeus. At least one Bagdemaeus. And I definitely am going to run one Blaster Blade Spirit SP. But I do also want to add the trips. So you can kind of see my dilemma here. So I'm not sure what to do. I might do this. This is what I was thinking. Bagdemaeus, Blaster Blade Spirit SP, and Lop-Ear Shooter. That's what I'm thinking. Or maybe another trip. I'm not sure what you guys think I should add, either the Lop-Ear Shooter or the trip. So after you guys see my grade 3s, let me know, because I'm really like, I don't know, it's really weird. As you can see where I'm having my problems on deciding what to run and stuff. So yeah, let's move on to the grade 3s. A little challenge for you guys, because I know you guys like challenges. So, for the main Vanguard in the deck, I have my one SP Incandescent Line Blonde Ezel. I run one because I feel like running one to me was always awesome at the beginning, because I was like, he's the leader. He I don't know. There can only be one leader, so if he's in multiple places, like, I know people see it differently. Like Big Chris likes to have multiple because he feels like his leader is everywhere at once. But I feel like my one SP Blonde Ezel has treated me really well, and I always, like, not always, but I want to say like 80% of the time I have him as my Vanguard, and he's really awesome. So I separate my grade 3s based on a tier level. So he would be my S tier Vanguard. Whoops, sorry about that. And then for my A tier grade 3 Vanguard, I have Garmor. So he is Ezel's backup, and when I have Garmor on the field, it's really cool to ride Garmor because you know, you get off a Dindrene play or you get off a Lop-Ear play. That's why I'm kind of debating on the two Lop-Ears, but I don't always ride Garmor because I mainly always want to have Blonde Ezel as my Vanguard. So sometimes I call Garmor to like the rear guard or ditch him for the perfect guard, because I never ever ride Garmor on top of Ezel, because, you know, like I said, Ezel's my favorite card and I always want to have him at the field. So yeah. Then for my tier B backup Vanguard, because I only run one of each, is a card people usually don't know, like this card. I find him really good. Oh, his name is Photon Archer Grifflet. Like, every time I play him, people are like, what? I've never seen that card. I was like, what? You're running Photon Archer? Yeah, I like Photon Archer. He's really cool, and he has helped me out a lot, because if I don't have these guys out, I usually only have counterblasted once or twice. Like, not a lot, because have you seen before I had even when I had the 2 Nimue and the 2 Vivian, people usually like to block those, so I usually, you know, had like 5 open counterblasts, and he would be really good because I would just stand something, and with the stand trigger I would have a full column. So it was like, oh man, that's so awesome. But yeah, and then I like to have rearguard support. So for my rearguard support, I have 2 Sagramore, 1 Gigantech Destroyer, and 1 Holy Mage. Excuse me. I had the 2 Sagramore because, like I said, a lot of the time I have open counterblast, and he helps get to really good numbers, because behind a Gareth he hits 21. That's what I like about my deck. It hits really good numbers. So I know a lot of people don't run these guys. I know a lot of people run either 1 or 2 Gigantechs and more, you know, their main Vanguard. But the Sagramore helps out a lot. It helps me a lot against when I need to hit that 18 or 19 mark. It helps me. He helps me out a lot. And against 11Ks, oh my gosh, it's so awesome hitting 21, because they usually, you know, expect the 20k column, not a 21k column, which is awesome. The Gigantech Destroyer I like, and I also like the Holy Mage. The reason it's not 2 gig on Tech Destroyer is because Holy Mage hits for 20k behind a Greth for a Rearguard column, because he only has to be boosted by a Gold Paladin to get the +2. So it helps out a lot for, you know, like those annoying Rearguard support that, or like the 10Ks, it's a 20k and they really want to protect it to have another attacker, or maybe they don't have another attacker. Getting rid of that other attacker helps you out a lot, because then you only have to worry, you need to worry about one less attack. So the Holy Mage is really helpful. I know that sometimes he's not boosted because either the booster got retired or I just don't have a booster behind them, and it kind of hurts, but at the same time, like, he helps me out a lot. So he is balanced in a way. Like Gigant Tech Destroyer is also balanced since he can't hit 20Ks for Rearguard support, Rearguard columns. So that's the deck, guys. So if you give me a minute, because I gotta go do something really quick, and I'll come back so we can talk about it in more detail. Alright, so see you in a bit, guys. Alright guys, I'm back. So like I was saying, now you guys know the deck, and now you guys know what I'm dealing with and what my problem is. Since it's not a typical Ezel deck, that it's like, you know, the typical cross-right. Oh, I forgot to mention what my plans were for the grade 3s, because that is changing up a bit. For now, I'm not sure what to really do with these guys. Definitely keeping the one Ezel, definitely keeping the one Garmor. Now, for the rest, it's a little iffy. Why? Mainly because if I don't have Platina Ezel, or like, I'm not gonna get cross-ridden, or like, it's really iffy because like these guys do consume a counterblast, and I do want to keep the open counterblast for Platina Ezel. For Platina Ezel, I was thinking of taking out Photon Archer. That way it doesn't mess up with my Rearguard support. But one of my friends told me, you know, why don't you take out Gigant Tech and put Platina, that way you have 4/4, or even do one Sagarmor, you know, one of these guys, and keep it. But I feel like that would mess up with my Rearguard stuff, because I am used to the 3/4. But I'm not sure what you guys think. I definitely want to try this though, like Platina, Ezel, Garmor, and leave these guys alone. But I'm not sure what you guys think, so yeah. But anyway, moving on to what I was going to say before. I'm pretty sure you guys see my problem now, since I only have the one Ezel. If I don't have Ezel or Platina Ezel as my Vanguard, my counterblasts are going to be free. So, and then I don't have as much superior calling power if I don't have Ezel out, because I'm so used to, you know, having 2 superior calls. That's why I have the Lop Ears, and that's why I like the Garmor, because it's a backup play. And that's why I like having the Vivians and the Nimuez, because I can superior call and actually use my counterblast or make them threatening. So I'm not sure what you guys like, what you guys think. I know the deck hits for really good numbers, so I don't have to worry about numbers. I kind of like the one Tron right now, because since we are in an era where everyone's going to be cross-ridden, because like everything's literally getting a cross-ride right now. Definitely the 10k minimum for the Vanguard really hurts, since everyone's literally 11k. Like, you know, Dragonic Overlords an 11, like a base 11, and then the end is an 11 if not cross-ridden. If he is cross-ridden, he's a 13. Aqua Force is really popular right now. Maelstrom's an 11. And then, you know, Glory Maelstrom is 13 on 11 base also. And then Majesty Lord's still popular out there. He's a 12k. So, I mean, I know he's a 10k base, but most of the time he does have his effects. So he is, pretty much to me, I consider him a 12k base. So I'm not really worried about the numbers that I'm hitting, because even with a 6k booster behind usually my Vanguard, which is Ezel or Garmor, they are going to be hitting for 21. Because Garmor does have the limit break of plus 5,000, and Ezel does gain 1,000 per Gold Paladin, and my field is most of the time is full. So the 21k minimum for the Vanguard attack is really good. So I'm not really sure what you guys think, what I should do with the deck. I really do need help. I thought that I really needed the cards in front of me and actually play test for me to actually, you know what feels right for me. But I would really like your guys' input, and I really wanted to show you guys, you know, a little bit of how I think the deck should go. And I really like getting input from other people, because it might help me see something that I didn't. But also keep in touch that keep in mind that I do want to keep certain cards in the deck. Like, I'm not gonna take out the Paladin. Pretty much I'm not gonna take out Criff. Pretty much everyone else is free game. Well, definitely I'm not gonna take out Ezel, Bowmains, or Gareth. But everyone else, I'm not sure what you guys think, because you can see how this is a very unorthodox deck, and it's really difficult to think of a way to, you know, keep it as good as it is, because the deck is really good. Trust me, I've played with it a lot and I've won a lot. Like, why don't you go to tournaments, JC? I did go, and I did fairly well. The deck does well even if you don't have, you know, my S tier and my A tier Vanguard. Like, as the Vanguard, like, I've won with Sagramore, Holy Mage, or Gigantech as my Vanguard, and it's like amazing to do that when you're versing, you know, the End, or when you're versing Majesty Lord and you win. It's like, oh my gosh, I just won and beat a top tier deck with not my, you know, with not Ezel and not Garmor. So yeah, definitely, I really am looking forward to your input about the deck, and if you guys want, I really wouldn't mind if you guys, you know, actually made the deck and play tested it. So, but you need to do this. If you do make the deck and do, you know, copy it, really run the 1 SP Blonde Ezel, and do run the 1 Shiny Bowmains, and you gotta run 1 what is it, Breaker Limits Gareth, you know, to have them different. I'm still looking for one, but no one ever always no one has one. So yeah, hope you guys like the deck profile, and I'll be sure to make more in the future, because I have other decks too. I have a Royal Paladin deck, I have an Enigman deck. Well, yeah, Enigmans, whoa, Enigmans, who plays that? I do. They're actually really good, and there's a really underrated card in Dimension Police that people have been like just giving away, but he's really good for this deck, and you're gonna see why in that deck profile. I also have Musketeers. So my plan for Vanguard right now is to make every deck, but only while they're cheap. So like, that's why I picked up the Enigmans and the Musketeers, because they were pretty much free. Like, I got the whole Enigma and Ride chain for $10 before they went down, so that was really good. And Sharia is letting me borrow a couple Diamond Aces for the moment, so yeah. But yeah, more about that later. But yeah, if you guys really like want to sell a deck, let me know. But keep in mind, I'm only gonna buy if it's cheap, because I know I can buy a deck right now, like Aqua Force. It'll cost me like $250 or something, but I really don't want to spend $250 on it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm not made of money, like I said before. But yeah, give me an input about the deck, and I guess that's it. Hope you like my deck profile, and this is JCcalonge signing out. Later, guys.